Vanilla from Natural Living Alchemy. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be making a nutrient-dense kefir cultured ice cream. Now, this recipe originally came from the book Gaps Stage by Stage with Recipes by Dr. Becky Plotner. Now, if you are not familiar with GAPS, I'm just going to go over it super quickly, okay? But what it is it stands for gut and physiology syndrome or gut and psychology syndrome. And this comes from Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride. And she's stating that a lot of our issues like autoimmune and even allergies are caused by a leaky gut. And the protocol in those two books are what actually can help heal and seal a leaky gut. So before we get into today's recipe, I'm just going to invite you to check the description box below this video. And in there, you're going to find a couple different things. You're going to find a link to the full written blog article that goes into more detail about some of the things I just shared, as well as some different recipe variations that you can make. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing the base recipe of vanilla, which came from this book. And then I'm just going to show you how I add my little twist on it. We are going to be making lemon, but I'm going to just share different ways in that blog article that you could definitely customize this based on your flavor needs. And in the description box, you're also going to find some links to some equipment so that you can make this for yourself or your family. To make this ice cream, you're just going to need a handful of ingredients. But one of the main ones you're going to need is kefir cultured cream. So I'm going to show you how we make this. So to make this kefir cultured cream, you're only going to require two ingredients. You're going to need kefir that has already been cultured, and you're going to need cream. That's it. Now, much like the milk, remember, you're going to want to bring up the heat to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you're going to allow it to drop to 110. So you have a couple choices. If you had just a little bit of kefir left in a jar, you could definitely just pour the cream over it and do it that way. Now, I like to leave some of my grains in my milk. So in order to avoid having those in the cream, because it doesn't really like the cream, we're just going to grab some of this and put it in a jar. So for this, you can fit 4 cups in this jar. We're going to be putting about 4 tablespoons of our already cultured kefir. Now, one thing that I do like to do before I go and add my cream is I actually just like to take it and just twist the jar like this and just kind of coat all of the sides with the kefir cultured milk. Okay. Then all you would do is just add your cooled down cream right into your jar. One of these days, I'm going to film a video and I'm going to have everything here. So you might as well subscribe now so you get to watch that happen in real time. But anyway, so what we're going to do is just grab a piece of paper towel. We're going to put it over top of our jar. And then you're just going to throw it in your fermentation station or your corner, wherever you like to keep your cultured or fermented foods while they're culturing or fermenting. And this is going to be ready in about 3 days. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to turn this in ice cream. All right. So I had mentioned at the very beginning that we were making nutrient-dense kefir cultured ice cream. Okay. So now that we know how to make our kefir cultured cream, where does this dense nutrition piece come from? Well, it comes from egg yolks. So you are going to require a minimum of 8 egg yolks. Now, just so you know, the role that the egg yolks play apart from adding that extra nutrition, and keep in mind that egg yolks are actually really easy for our bodies to digest. But the more egg yolks that you put in this recipe, the more scoopable, the softer that your ice cream is actually going to be. So I have found 8 to be that magic number. Now you could definitely put in more, but I found putting in less, like even 7, and it just isn't as scoopable as what the 8 egg yolks will give you. So what we're going to have to do first is we're going to separate our eggs. So one thing that I like to do, and I hope that you can actually see this, is if you ever notice there's this like white kind of mucusy part, there's 2 of them on the eggs. If possible, I like to just kind of take that off. Okay. We don't really need that ending up in the ice cream. It probably won't create a problem, but there's other things that I've put egg yolks in that if you leave that little mucusy part, you can definitely tell within the finished product. So you are just going to need to put your 8 egg yolks inside of a food processor or blender. Okay, so once you have your desired amount of egg yolks in your food processor, you're going to just want to turn it on to low, and we're just going to allow the food processor to emulsify the eggs for approximately 10 minutes. Okay, so now that our eggs have been emulsifying for that 10 minutes, we are going to add the rest of our ingredients. So if you are just wanting to make vanilla, you would take your egg yolks, you would add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now you could add more or you could add less. And then we are going to add 6 tablespoons of either raw local honey. I happen to be out, so I am using maple syrup. Now, I am going to be making lemon ice cream. So if you were wanting to just make vanilla, you'd stop here, you add your cream in there, you'd be good to go. But I'm going to be making the lemon. So we are going to take the rind of 1 lemon. And then you're going to take the juice of 2 lemons. I'm not sure I could have found bigger lemons if I tried to. And I also just want to throw in, this is optional, just a pinch of sea salt. All right. So what you're going to need to do before you put kefir, that can stay there. So we're just going to want to stir our kefir. If you've noticed that you have a little bit of the whey just sitting at the bottom, you just want to stir it up so that's nicely incorporated again. Okay, so now we have everything in here and we are just going to turn it on again and just wait. Everything is all nicely mixed in. Okay, so now what you need to do is we are just going to taste this. We are going to make sure that this is the flavor we're looking for, that it's sweet enough, that it's maybe lemony enough, or whatever other fruit that you're putting in there. Make sure that it's good because then we're going to allow this to sit in the refrigerator overnight up to 24 hours. I have found the longer that you can let this sit in the fridge to cool, the better the ice cream actually turns out. So let's see. Mm, that is good. Okay. Mm. So now what we're going to do is we are just going to put this in the fridge. We are going to allow it to cool overnight, and then I'll show you what we do next.
When I grab the ice cream maker bowl out of the freezer, I like to use either a dishcloth or even an oven mitt to grab it because I want to ensure that none of my body heat is actually going to be warming up the bowl in any way because that will definitely affect the way your ice cream turns out. So you're going to want to allow your ice cream mixture to churn in your ice cream maker for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's done. And then once it's complete, I like to take it out of the ice cream maker bowl and put it into a plastic container. And this is just going to ensure when I'm scooping it out that I don't accidentally end up scraping or damaging the sides of the ice cream maker bowl. It's a pretty hot day in my kitchen today, so I'm going to now let this ice cream sit in the freezer before it's ready to be eaten, just to let it firm up a little bit more.
And there you go. That is how simple it is to make your own nutrient dense ice cream. So why don't you go ahead, comment down below, and let me know how did you make it? Did you make just the vanilla flavor? Did you do the lemon like me? Did you try a different one? How did it turn out? I would just love to hear about it. So don't forget to hit the like button if you've liked this video and maybe share it with somebody who you think might enjoy learning how to make their own ice cream. Consider subscribing to the channel so that we can spend more time together and you don't miss future videos. You can find me over on Instagram and Facebook, so be sure to connect with me over there as well. But I just want to say thanks for stopping by today, and I'll see you next time.